Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Flash Episode 1 video. Congratulations, you made it all year, Flash family's back. Just careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet. So much stuff to talk about, so top 10 WTF. Number 10 is the one episode Flashpoint. That was the biggest surprise, or one of the biggest surprises. There were a couple big twists that I really liked. And I like the way they're using Flashpoint to fix some of the problems with its characters that go way back to season 1. Side effect of having a TV show that can use time travel in a believable way. So however you feel about them doing comic book Flashpoint, just think of this as Flashpoint Light. I feel like they hit all the big beats, like they hit the spirit of Flashpoint. Barry had to come to terms with the Reverse Flash being allowed to kill his mother, needing to kill his mother in order to fix everything. Or not fix everything, so to speak. I'll explain what the Reverse Flash meant at the end of the episode when he joked at Barry that he would not be completely back to normal. But number 9, Iris West, one of the big characters to get a huge fix going back to season 1. She had all kinds of character problems in season 1, and most of it had to do with her character not really having anything to do with the actual plot of the series. She was kind of like the person that Barry pined after. It was really soapy. Maybe you enjoyed that stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that Candace Patton, pretty great actress, can do a lot more. It's just a lot more fun to watch when characters get to actively be involved in plot progression. So they had a couple fun twists with genre tropes, like the superhero secret identity trope, like when they're on the date. Iris is like, I need to go. Like she comes up with a fake excuse to run off to help Wally because she knows that Wally's the Flash. She's been helping him out. The thing that she's doing to help out is just using her position as news reporter and access to information to help Wally source and track down metahumans. So she's a much bigger part of Team Flash. I feel like during season 2 even, they were starting to correct her character a little bit. She was kind of like the character that would stand there and cheer Barry on. So now she's a more active part of the plot. And I think it's going to be a lot better. Like I don't mind them doing the relationship-y stuff as long as her character actually has something to do with plot progression. But number 8, Joe West. If you've never watched The Wire, Flashpoint Joe West is kind of like McNulty, like a super drunk, somebody who's actually a pretty good detective, but his personal problems just completely overshadow his ability as a father and as a police officer. So like at the end of the episode when he shoots the rival to stop him from taking Barry down, like he's actually a good detective. He did the same thing he did in the pilot. That whole final fight was just a big Easter egg for the pilot episode with the Weather Wizard tornadoes, the actual Weather Wizard name shout out, and Joe West killing the villain at the end too. If you haven't watched the pilot in a long time, Joe West shot Weather Wizard at the end of that too. So this is like a Back to the Future style episode. Back to the pilot future, like all the way back to that first episode. Post-Flashpoint Joe seems like he's not quite as terrible, but he still has this real big problem with Iris. So like they weren't talking in Flashpoint, they're not talking again now. They said that's going to be a big part of their arc this season, so they probably won't reveal why Iris hates Joe so much for a while. And it probably has something to do with her mother, some big family problem, something that goes so deep that it couldn't be solved by like a simple conversation. But we also learned while we're at the police station that the captain is different too. It is a huge Easter egg for the 90s Flash series. So like they turned John Wesley Shipp into Jay Garrick. This is also an actor from the 90s Flash series. He was kind of like the Cisco Ramon of the 90s series. So now he's Barry's police captain, and his name, Julio Mendez, was the same name of his character on the 90s series. So they just kind of like picked him up via Flashpoint and transplanted him to present day. So just a huge Easter egg for the 90s series. It was awesome. Number 6 is Barry phoning it in for the last 3 months. When we go into the police station, the captain's like, have you found out who the rival is? And naturally, he's the Flash. He's also a really good CSI person. So if he'd been using his powers this whole time, he probably would have found out who he was right away. And the funny thing is that when he finally does confront the rival, he just rips his mask right off. Like, I don't even care. I'll tell you who I am. My name's Edward Claris. Everybody gets really quiet, like, oh my God, they're finally doing the thing. That's another big twist on the way they tell stories on the TV show. But number 5, Edward Claris is the rival. So this is one of the few twists where they're not trying to bait and switch. I feel like them having him rip his mask off is their way of telling you that this isn't going to be one of the big mysteries of the season, like Harrison Wells, Eobard Thawne in season 1, and Jay Garrick Zoom in season 2. They're like, we're not going to do that again. We're just going to rip the mask off episode 1. Dr. Alchemy, Savitar, those are going to be the big mysteries of the season, but we haven't got the Savitar tease yet. We've only gotten Dr. Alchemy. Edward Claris is from the Golden Age Flash comics. He debuted in 1949 in Flash number 104, so obviously this is a slight change to the character in that he's appearing in modern day, but in the comics, Edward Claris is called the Rival. He was the Reverse Flash of the Jay Garrick Golden Age of the Flash. So when we got to the Silver Age, that's when Eobard Thawne became the Reverse Flash. So for a long time in the comics, every time they debuted a new version of the Flash, they also debuted a new version of the Reverse Flash. But the twist at the end of the episode is that even post-Flashpoint, he will probably become the Rival again, because he's in bed with someone that looks like his wife, so he seems like a totally normal person, but Dr. Alchemy sounds like he's going to do something crazy to turn him into the Rival. So number 4, Reverse Flash, Flashpoint Explainer. This is a really great moment, just him against Barry, letting him know it's my turn to be the hero. You'll be begging me to kill your mother by the end of this. So the twist in this moment is that the Reverse Flash, because Barry is slowly kind of breaking down, the Reverse Flash has to drag him back in time, whereas the last time, the Reverse Flash needed to go back to his time. Barry was the one to throw him through the wormhole, so it's a nice twist on that. But very much in keeping with comic book Flashpoint, so nothing new there, but it will be fun to see him joke about the Silence of the Lambs torture basement that he was keeping him in later. So number 3 is Elon Musk. Cisco still has kind of a sense of humor, isn't completely terrible, so it was fun seeing that different version of Star Labs, then seeing him drag Caitlin in. I'm sorry, have I been kidnapped? Just completely adorable. But we learned that even though Caitlin is a child doctor, she's also really smart. She has the idea to use the cameras to find the Rival. So even in different timelines, there's still core aspects of their characters that are the same. That was the whole deal with the lightning rod. So number 2 was the big action set piece where Barry, dissolves the tornadoes after Iris gives him the big speech. That was what they called their lightning rod moment, where Barry learns that Iris is his lightning rod. That's also something from the comics whereby the Flash has kind of a tether in the multiverse to a single character. Everybody has a tether. Barry's is Iris that just kind of helps him center himself. So he starts to actually get stuff back that he's losing because of Flashpoint when she gives him that speech. So that's why the Rival's this is impossible. This is crazy that you're able to do this. But if you've been reading comics, you probably knew this. Iris and Barry in every version of the multiverse are together in some way. Whether or not they're actually married, or they're just dating, or they only know each other really well, they're close friends, they'll always pop up in proximity to each other in some way. But number 1 WTF, Dr. Alchemy shows up, and it's Tobin Bell's voice. They're doing the Tony Todd Zoom voice thing, where it's a really scary voice, and it might be someone else's face under the mask. He wakes Edward Claris up, calls to him, and it seems like he's going to turn him into the Rival or set him on a path to taking down the other speedsters. But no idea how this is going to cross over with the Savitar plotline. The big stuff I know you're wondering about, the Reverse Flash said, well, you're going to find out whether or not things are different. So a lot of you have wondered if maybe the Reverse Flash did something a little extra when he fixed Flashpoint to make things even worse for Barry without him realizing it. We'll find out over time. That's part of the fun of the first half of the season, and especially the next episode, just learning what's going to stick from the Flashpoint changes and what new things are even more different. So Joe and Iris are still on the outs. Barry and Cisco clearly have some drama between them, and I think that some of the new speedsters will stick as well. We know Jesse Quick's going to be one of the speedsters. Wally doesn't seem like a speedster in this moment, but remains to be seen. I feel like they wouldn't make Wally the Flash and then take that back right away. So let me know in the comments, what was your favorite moment from the episode, and what are you most excited for based on the teases at the end of this? I know most of you are probably going crazy about Dr. Alchemy. He's going to be a lot of fun. And there's still just so much stuff that they have to introduce. Episode 2 will be when they roll out most of the rest of this stuff. But I don't think that Jesse Quick and Harrison Wells will be coming back till episode 3. But really, the point of episode 2 is in introducing post-Flashpoint Earth. What is different now that has stuck based on Flashpoint changes? So just a reminder that there's a new round of the giveaway going on now. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. My Flash videos will work just like they did last year. Arrow premieres tomorrow, so naturally I'll post that episode 1 video after it airs. There's some new Luke Cage that I'm still working on, and there's some cool Game of Thrones stuff that's happening tomorrow. So all that stuff should post in the next day or so. But get hype, we're back. Congratulations, everybody. You made it all year. Flash family is back. While you guys wait for that to post, you can click here for that really hardcore Arrow trailer, and you can click here for the Iron Fist teaser trailer. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.